now to all episodes of BLAZADA Beats and Blood on Apple Podcasts or anywhere else you get your spooky content. Welcome to the BLAZADA Beats and Blood podcast. I am your host, BLAZADA. And in this podcast, we love trick-or-treating. Only we don't want candy. We want your soul. Halloween is finally here. It's the holiday that takes us back to our youth, to the days of indulgence without consequence, expression without shame. It's a show and tell event that grants us the stage to unleash our inner creative. More importantly, Halloween allows us the chance to be ourselves. It's why kids and grown-ups alike look forward to the holiday year-round and spend countless hours planning the perfect way to celebrate it. It's also the time of year where we test the limits of our bravery. We venture into haunted houses and watch the scariest of movies, seeking the adrenaline rush that is oh so addicting. Those who indulge in all things horror know that it's a form of escapism. Maybe watching someone dealing with a killer clown can make our own problems seem less daunting. What I have for you today, listeners, is a real-life fear of mine turned into a Halloween tale. It's a story that I wrote long ago, the idea of which still frightens me to this day. I will warn the parents out there that the episode contains graphic depictions of body horror and may not be suitable for young audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
Don't stay out there too long, Ollie,
His mother said with a smile.
Yes, Mommy,
He replied. Oliver ran past his mother, out of the house and into the backyard. In no time at all, he had climbed upon the steps of his jungle gym and was perched on the very top of the slide. Oliver was a sweet and adventurous little 7-year-old who loved playing outside. He was an only child, not afforded the companionship of a sibling or a friend. He and his mother lived alone in a remote 2-bedroom house beside a vast area of woods. It was the home Oliver's dad had built for them, shortly before he passed away from illness. Their drives into town took about 30 minutes, which to Oliver felt like an eternity. He would stare out the window from the back seat of his mom's car and into the blur of the passing trees. He so badly wanted a friend, someone his age, someone who enjoyed the same things he did, a friend he could play with in the backyard.
maybe one day.
He thought to himself. From the perch atop the slide, Oliver gazed up into the amber-gray sunset of the sky.
Pretty.
He thought. It was then that a bright streak of light quickly darted across the sky and over the woods. A shooting star was rare, Oliver knew, so he wasted no time. He closed his eyes and made a wish. When Oliver reopened his eyes, the shooting star was gone. He looked over towards the woods where the star appeared to fall, and envisioned it landing somewhere amongst the trees. The woods were always off limits for Oliver, per his mom's request, but he was always curious why. He could only picture little forest animals or a house full of friendly dwarves. It was silly, but it always made him smile. Oliver heard the soft clinging of the wind chimes blowing in the breeze and felt the wind suddenly change. It was starting to get dark, and he knew that it meant it was time to head inside. As Oliver got up, something caught his attention. There was someone standing at the edge of the woods. Oliver hopped off the slide and walked towards the edge of the yard. It was a boy.
Maybe he's lost.
Oliver wondered. He raised his hand and waved, but the boy didn't wave back. He just stood there, staring. It was then that Oliver noticed something else that sent a cold shiver up his spine. The boy had no face. Oliver couldn't understand it. His face was empty. No eyes, ears, or nose. He was bald and wearing what looked like a sickly gray skin suit, stretched over him like spandex.
Hello?
Oliver shouted. As if awakened, the boy began walking. Oliver stood frozen, his hand tightly gripping the wooden post of the fence. He just couldn't look away from that unsettling, empty face. It was walking straight towards him, slow but determined. Oliver squinted his eyes and noticed something forming on the boy's face. A small, tight slit began to tear open where its mouth would be, forming a wide grin. It curled up at the edges and peeled back to reveal a wide, toothless smile. Oliver turned away and looked back towards his house for any sight of his mom, but she was gone. He turned around and saw that the boy was now walking quickly towards him. Oliver felt a wave of fear wash over him. Run, his brain told him. He began to step back when he realized something. He couldn't move. He looked down at his feet, which were planted firmly in the grass. He pulled and pulled, but couldn't get either of them to move. He began to panic. Oliver could see the boy much more clearly now, as he was only a few feet away from the fence. His pale skin had browned to a shade just like Oliver's. Shallow eye sockets began to form and sprouted gelatinous white bulbs, resembling eyes. The boy's smile had grown wider now, and Oliver could see a row of shimmering white teeth. Oliver opened his mouth to scream, but felt his jaw suddenly lock. He reached both hands to his face and felt his lips sealing together. His knees buckled, and he quickly fell backwards, hitting his head on the ground. A high-pitched bell rang loudly between his ears as he scrambled to his senses. Oliver scoured the area for any sight of his mom, but his vision was blurry. He rubbed his eyes with his forearm until he was finally able to see, and what he saw drained the color from his face. The boy had climbed over the fence. He was inside the yard now, standing with one hand on the fence post. Oliver turned and clawed at the grass, trying desperately to pull himself towards the house. His hands were heavy, and he could feel a tingly numbness in his fingers, the very same numbness he felt when he would fall asleep on his hand. He looked at his fingers and saw that all but one of his nails were missing, the last of which wilted off like a rose petal. His arms were now weak and dropped his torso to the ground. Oliver turned and saw that the boy was getting closer. He fixed his eyes upon the head and saw that it had sprouted short tufts of wavy brown hair, just like his own. Oliver's teeth clenched tightly together and he shook his head violently. It was then that Oliver felt his hair slide off of his head, brush past his neck, and onto the ground beside him. Oliver closed his eyes and heard the rapid footsteps of the boy approaching. His entire body shook with fright, and he tried desperately to wake up from this horrible nightmare. When he opened his eyes at last, he saw the bare feet of the boy right next to him. Oliver quickly averted his eyes. He dared not look up at its face, but he could feel it staring right at him. Oliver looked back at his house and thought for a moment he could see his mom standing there on the porch. He tried calling out for her, but had no mouth with which to scream. Oliver looked up and saw the boy slowly crouching beside him. With one last burst of fight, Oliver kicked his legs frantically to escape. He looked down at his knees and saw them wobbling weakly from side to side. Defeated, Oliver finally looked up and into the face of his pursuer. He shuddered when he caught sight of its wide, eager smile. Oliver could only watch as the boy slowly reached towards him and placed its wiry hands on his face. Oliver's eyes rolled back into his head, and the whole world felt dark. Oliver woke up in his bed. He lay on his mattress with his sheets crumpled up in a short pile on the floor. He sat up and looked around at the familiar walls of his room. It took him a good minute to realize that the horror he had experienced was all a dream. He placed his hands to his face and was relieved to feel his mouth was right where it should be. He tugged at his hair, which was still firmly attached to his head. Messy, but still there. The sizzle and aroma of bacon soon filled Oliver's room. He never remembered being more excited for breakfast than in this moment. Oliver hurriedly climbed off of his bed and skipped to his bathroom. He flipped on the light switch and in the reflection of the mirror, saw the boy standing right behind him.
Ollie, are you okay?
His mom called from downstairs. Oliver quickly turned around and clutched the edge of the counter. He was alone and was relieved to see only himself standing there.
Yes, Mommy, I'm okay.
He said. Oliver heard a small clink and looked down at the counter. One of his teeth had fallen out.
Come on down, sleepyhead. Your food is getting cold.
His mother answered. Oliver picked up his tooth, rinsed his mouth out with water, and dried his face on a nearby towel, nearly tripping over himself as he hurried down the stairs. His mother stood at the stove, with her back to him, and slid a crisp piece of bacon off of the pan and onto a plate. Oliver knew his mom had made his favorite dish, burnt bacon with a side of sunny-side-up eggs and a buttery toast. He quickly grabbed a seat, not wanting to wait 1 minute longer to bite into something familiar.
Thank you, Mommy.
He said as he picked up a fork. His mother didn't answer.
Mommy?
Oliver said nervously. Oliver's mother stood still, facing the stove as smoke now rose from the pan. Oliver got up from his seat and walked slowly towards his mother. The sizzling of the bacon grew louder until it filled the room with static. Oliver covered one ear and with his other hand reached up to his mother's arm.
Mom?
As he tugged at her skin, his mother turned to look at him. Oliver turned white. The boy's wide smile grinned down at him. Its long, needle-like teeth protruded from each of its wet gums. Those large, bulbous eyes fixated onto Oliver and paralyzed him with their gaze. Its head, full of long, wet, sticky brown hair, now touched the high ceiling of the kitchen. The boy slowly placed its large, veiny hands onto Oliver's cheeks and gingerly plucked them off the floor. It brought Oliver close to its chest and embraced him with its trunk-like arms. Oliver struggled to move and could feel the air slowly being squeezed out of him. The boy opened its mouth, revealing its long canine teeth, and uttered a word Oliver never expected to hear.
Friend.
You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. I'd like to thank my youngest son, Wayne, who provided the voice for little Oliver. You did so well, Papa. Thank you to my son, Bruce, who provided the voice for the boy. Great job, Brucey. Thank you to my wife, Judy, aka Zelda, who voiced Oliver's mother. You are so amazing in it, my love. Thank you to my daughter, Violet October, for your support, your love, and your hugs. Boop. And lastly, I'd like to thank all of you for listening to today's episode. I really enjoyed writing and producing this story, and I'm so happy with how it turned out. Hopefully, it provided just the right amount of chills. You can listen to all episodes of BLAZADA Beats and Blood on Apple Podcasts, Audible, and iHeartRadio. And lastly, I'd like to wish all of you a safe, fun, and memorable Halloween. And as always, thanks for listening.